When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for people to assert their inherent dignity and rights, respect for truth and justice demands a clear declaration of these principles. We recognize these self-evident truths. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. These rights are inherent to human existence and cannot be granted or taken away by any authority. Natural, innate rights exist independent of and prior to any government. The purpose of governance is to protect and enhance these fundamental rights. When any form of authority becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. Every individual possesses these rights: absolute ownership of their own life, body, and mind, the right to keep and bear arms to defend themselves, their property, and their rights, the right to defend themselves and their property with appropriate force when necessary, the right to their own thoughts, beliefs, and conscience, the right to speak, write, and express themselves freely, the right to own and use property which they have justly acquired, the right to associate or dissociate with others by mutual consent, the right to enter into voluntary agreements and contracts, the right to pursue their own happiness and purposes, provided they do not violate the equal rights of others, the right to privacy and protection of personal data, the right to move freely and choose residence. These civil and political rights: the right to participate in governance, freedom of assembly and association, the right to fair and equal treatment under the law, freedom from arbitrary arrest or detention, the right to a fair and public trial, freedom of the press and access to information, the right to seek asylum from persecution. These economic and social rights: the right to work and free choice of employment, the right to education and personal development, the right to adequate contemporary health care, the right to nutritious food, clean water, and safe and secure shelter, the right to participate in cultural life, the right to form and join trade unions, protection of intellectual and creative works, these environmental rights: the right to clean and healthy environment, access to natural resources, protection from environmental degradation, sustainable development for future generations. To secure these rights, all people have the duty to respect the rights of others. Governments must establish legal frameworks to protect these rights. Independent judiciary systems must enforce these protections. International cooperation is essential to uphold these rights globally. Education about these rights must be universally available. Therefore, we declare, no individual or group may initiate force or fraud against others. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, as it is essential to securing all other rights. No authority can legitimately override these natural rights. Any system that systematically violates these rights is inherently illegitimate. Individuals have the right and means to resist violations of their natural rights. All interactions between individuals should be voluntary and consensual. When any authority systematically violates these fundamental rights, we declare the right to organize, arm, and resist, the right to establish new systems of governance, the right to international support and recognition, the duty to establish just and equitable institutions, the responsibility to protect these rights for future generations. These rights are not privileges granted by governments, but are inherent to human nature. They require no external validation and cannot be legitimately infringed upon by any authority. The right to keep and bear arms ensures that individuals have the practical means to defend all of their other natural rights. The only legitimate purpose of any government system is to protect these natural rights. We therefore solemnly declare these rights to be universal and indivisible. We pledge our lives, our resources, and our sacred honor to protect and promote these fundamental human rights, knowing that the dignity and freedom of each person is essential to the dignity and freedom of all.